What is the greatest basketball skill of all? Well, there are a lot of opinions and ideas about this. But in a general view, a complete player should have gained an enormous arsenal of skills, so he can express all his creativity during the game. However, there is one particular skill, which we believe is the attribute of the greatest, and this is the ability to stop in a way the defense cannot read it, and even if it does, it will be always a way to continue your drive, so it will become impossible for someone to stop you. In this video, we will show you 4 sets of footwork to build your entire range speed stop techniques, through 5 of the best exercises we always teach. Be patient till the end, as we will also show you how to transfer all of these skills in your game after you've gained them as strengths, and we will explain why this should not be a big concern. Coming right up. We are Mihai Dumitrescu, IPT Certified Skill Enhancement Trainer, highest level professional team coach, and Peter Peric, first-tier international professional player in Croatia, Germany, and Slovakia. And if you truly want to master the art of basketball, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, so you can keep learning how to become unstoppable. What is the speed stop? The speed stop is the act of stopping completely from full speed, using a 1-2 footwork. This is the simple definition, but to build a sound technique you will need to take into consideration some details, without which it will not be possible to do it right. We will go through 4 types of speed stops that you should have in your arsenal, so you will create an advantage in any direction you will find opportune. The first one is simple, or let's say the main speed stop, which is also the most powerful of all. To do it right, you will need to learn how to control your dribble timing, and this is all about the dribble step, which how we've stressed on this channel, which is the ability to dribble the ball in the same time, or slightly before you step with the opposite foot regarding the ball side. As a reminder, as you step with the ball side foot, there will be no dribble, with only a few exceptions, and from the terminology standpoint, we call this one the motion step. This is the supreme basketball timing in terms of skills that you have to take care of every day of your career. So, starting from the dribble step, this will be the start of the speed stop. If you think about it, you will notice that there is no difference between the dribble step on the run, and the first step in your speed stop. As you gain the power to do it exactly the same, on the run and on the stop, no one, and I underline, no one will be able to realize that a stop will occur. The second part will be to bring the motion step in line, pick up the ball, and shoot a jumper. Notice that the ball must be picked up late, only after the footwork is completed, so you will have the chance to continue your dribbling each and every time. To properly learn this one, we use the Impossible footwork mat as a visual aid on where to do it, and how the dribbling will happen at the same time or just before the step. The most difficult will be to perform it on your weak hand side, but we encourage you to go at your own pace and to gradually add speed to it. You should stay on this one for 3 consecutive days, at least 20 minutes on each side daily, as it must be the base for most of your jumpers during the game. The next exercise is meant to help you to further develop a better timing of the dribble step stop. To do it, you will need an object, which can be a chair, which is our case, or anything you find around, and which is lower than your knees level. We've placed it on the free throws line, but you can place it anywhere around the floor, and we encourage you to do so, by moving around everywhere. The idea of this method is to touch the chair, at the same time with the last dribbling, and with the step that occurs near it. The chair touch will keep you accountable for doing those 3 things at the same time, and even if it can be difficult at the beginning, as you progress, you will learn this is a great tool to notice how you move, what is wrong, and how to fix all this timing. Again, the hardest part is to do it on the weak hand side, as you are not maybe used to it, but it will come to you shortly after you start. Do this one for at least 20 minutes on each side, but if you don't feel it's right, come back and do it again the next day until you are satisfied. Another speed stop technique is the partial speed stop. This one will always have a continuation and is supposed to be used when there is not enough space to shoot, and it is crowdy in front of you. The details of the first step remain the same, so during the stop, the ball is dribbled while the opposite leg touches the ground. Then the motion step is interrupted and it is placed behind. If we make a frame freeze here, you can notice that the ball goes to the pocket, and the stance is the same as a skinny inverted drop, which places the body in an athletic position from where you will be able to explode forward. As you will stop completely from full to zero speed, your opponent will be completely defenseless, and he will try to contain you. He will open up the floor behind him, so you will have an easy task to accomplish. This one looks easy, but it is not, especially because your brain initially will force you to step completely in with the back leg. You just need to stick on it long enough to build the neuronal pathway which will control this move. Seems complicated, but you will need only 20 minutes to make it solidly, and then using it regularly, it will enhance to the max. Our next stop is towards the floating speed stop, which is the most commonly used by the players, as a default 1-2 stop, as it is the easiest of all. Usually, players develop this one without any problem and specific training, as the dribble step timing does not apply here. However, to be able to keep your dribbling option alive, you will need to understand how it works and when to pick up the ball. I have also to add that the floating speed stop is the best to be used while you want to create separation in a lateral angle, usually as you penetrate from the wing towards the center or baseline, and you want to lose your defender on your back. Our exercise starts with a crossover, and even if you can start with normal dribbling, we believe it is better how we do it, as it will help a lot with the ball floating. The footwork mat is used as the finish point of the 1-2 footwork, so the start will be somewhere on a 45 degrees angle behind it. As you widely cross over the ball, let it float high, and move forward to your speed stop. You should reach the footwork mat with the second step while the ball is still in the air and pick it up only after the entire footwork is completed. This way, you can always add a turn pound and move forward if you need, for example in case of a closeout from the help defense. Stay as long as you want on this one, as we will not suggest any time horizon as mandatory. It is indeed the easiest one to do, and in most cases, if you ask a player to show you a 1-2 stop, he will show you this one. So, we suppose then, it is a great chance you are one of these players, which is not a bad thing at all, but you will not need much time to gain it. The last speed stop is called the inverted speed stop, as the footwork is inverted. Also, for this one, the dribble step timing does not apply, and it is used by the players mainly on the weak hand side, as a normal speed stop is hard to be developed by itself there. It should be used when you want to cover more space forward, as maybe you notice an empty gap, and you want to create more separation from your trailing defender. Our exercise starts again from a crossover scenario, as the ball is better to be in a floating position. You can also do this with regular dribbling, but we've chosen to show it this way. We use the footwork mat as an aid to step on before the 1-2 footwork, which should happen this time, after the mat. It will at least occur at the beginning, and the real challenge is to let the ball hang in the air high and long enough to finish the inverted speed stop before the pickup, so you will have a continuation in case you'll need it. To sum up, a wide crossover, the ball floats high, step on the mat, and then execute a 1-2 stop in front of it, pick up the ball, and shoot. And this is your beautiful inverted speed stop. Do it for at least 20 minutes on each side, to get used to it, and get back again if you feel you need to. Now, let's move on to the final part that I promised to explain. How to transfer all of these skills into the game. It is one of the most common questions coaches ask, and therefore a lot of players follow it. Our short answer for them is you don't need to, but of course, this should be further explained. First of all, it seemed to me that these people don't understand how performance and the human body work, but later I understood that they always relate to their way of training, and I will explain this. See, the human body constantly up and down regulates our nervous system, our muscles, joints, and everything else we need to keep up with the environment we deal on. In other words, we'll build whatever is necessary to sustain what you need for your activity. In our case, if the training is totally or partially in another environment than the game is, there will not be beneficial at all, and mostly inapplicable. This is the case for the majority, as the environment they create has nothing to do with the game. And what is next? They will always put a mark on the player, and they will say he didn't bear talented. The impossible system that you can find in our skills enhancement videos works exactly the opposite. All the methods that we use are meant to place your body into a game stance, after long years of scouting the greatest players. Furthermore, the genius behind these methods created tools to force anyone to obtain the correct skill, whatever that is, so during the game, you only need to perform it and it is already transferred. As you can see on your screens, we show you how we enhance the game by using the speed stops, but this is an approach to how to read the game, and what to choose as a reaction. The raw skills that Pero uses are the same as we've shown you for each one of them. In conclusion, you'll need to enhance your game, but in other ways than transferring these skills we've shown into it, and more by facing the situation before it will occur during the game. To put it straight, the classical ways of training fundamentals do not apply in the game, and even if is not completely useful, it will not drive you anywhere. This is how we've decided to create this channel, to show everyone what are and why our methods aim to propel any player toward the highest level. It will take time for people to understand all that we are doing here, but we are confident that even if it may require 20 or 30 years from now, we are among the first who started to build a new training system, and this is our legacy for basketball. Well, we are at the end of this video, so we ask you to give those a try, and let us know how it went for you. If you have any trouble or question, let us know through a comment, so we can get back with a good answer for you. Also, you may want to check those videos up here too, as we believe that you will love them. Hope you've enjoyed this one, and we remind you to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't done it yet, set your notifications on, so you'll not lose anything in the future.